श्री राधारमन लाल की जय, श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय, पंचतत्व की जय, षटगोस्वामी वृंद की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, रजरानी की जय, यमुना पट रानी की जय, सब संतन की जय, महंतन की जय, वैष्णवन की जय। जय जय श्री राधे श्याम, निताई गौर हरि हरि बोल। So, in the last few weeks, we are discussing the verse 2 of the Shikshashtakam. Uh, and today, again, we are going to discuss verse 2 of Shikshashtakam, which I have shared with all of you on the message box. नाम नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रापिता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृश महाजनि नानुरागः. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, our Lord, says that, O Bhagavan, you have manifested your numerous names, imbued all your potencies into them, and made no regulations regarding the time for remembering them. Such is your grace, your kripa. Etadrashi tav kripa. Still, my misfortune is such that no attachment of them has manifested in me. Now, obviously, this is not a state of Mahaprabhu, but Mahaprabhu is giving a giving the siksha, education, by showing his humbleness in such a way that he already knows that each one of us, have such kind of issues for chanting Harinam. Now we have to get into it to understand what our acharyas have spoken about it. The beautiful thing is that this is the only, from this verse only Vishwanath Chakravarti Bhat Thakur writes his commentary. He did not write his commentary from the verse 1, but he has written his commentary from the verse 2 only. We have covered some of the parts from his commentaries also. So the main thing is, which we have to get into understanding. Oh God, this is India's beauty. I have lost the power, and here we are again. So, we have discussed Smaraneno Kalaha in my last class, and we talked about the different things about this very portion of the verse. Now we will proceed and go a little more further, and we will talk about Etadrashi Tava Kripa Bhagwan Mamapi. Etadrashi Tava Kripa. That such is your grace. But what does that grace means? And why is Mahaprabhu talking about the grace here? What is the need to talk about the grace? Like if I'm chanting, why do I need the grace? Like let's say if I'm doing the yajna, I'm not asking for any grace. I'm doing the yajna, or all I want is that please directly give me the fruit. If I'm doing Ekadashi, I'm not thinking about any kind of if I'm doing the Ekadashi according to the Puranas, uh, you know, explanation that one who does or perform Ekadashi on or such and such Ekadashi, he gets this and that merits. But here we are asking for a kripa. If we are chanting, specifically chanting, we are not asking for the kripa, we are just saying, I just want the fruit. But here Mahaprabhu is saying that, all the potencies of Krishna is imbued into holy name, and it's your such a mercy, but still I'm unable to chant. So, what is that mercy? That's the very first thing. Second thing is, why am I unable to chant? Why? It's so easy. Anytime, any moment, anyone can chant. Even you are on a bed, you are traveling, you haven't taken shower, you have taken shower, you are eating, not eating, you are doing whatsoever. But still you can chant. But still, the most asked question to myself is that why am I being unable to chant? The different devotees, whenever they get the chance, they usually ask this question that I try so much, but still I'm unable to chant. And this is what, you know, uh, our Mahaprabhu is talking about. He already knew about it, when he came, that that's the only thing everyone will cry for, or most of us will cry for. So the very first thing is we have to understand uh, one thing specifically. It talks about iha jani uh, nanuragaha, that there is no attachment to the holy name that has manifested in me. And why it doesn't really uh, make me attracted towards holy name. The very first thing is this one line reveals the condition of every devotee. We repeat the syllables of Krishna's name thousands of times, and yet the heart feels unmoved. And why is this? What is missing? To understand this lament, we must dive deep into what anurag actually is. What stops us from blossoming, and how the tradition of our acharyas has guided us to point where this lament transforms into a living relationship with the name. So the confession is not casual. Whenever this confession comes that there is no attachment with the holy name, it is the voice of that soul that has realized what it lacks. To say like no anuraga, there's no anuraga, means that the heart is acknowledging the truth. Chanting is happening, but there is no pull, no magnetic attraction to the name, and it has not yet become the life breath to the soul. Every scripture, every saint proclaims the same thing: the holy name is all powerful. It is Krishna himself, and to chant it even once without offense has the power to burn away lifetimes of karma. And yet, here, I am chanting and chanting, but my mind runs everywhere, elsewhere. If the name is all powerful, why am I not changed? Why am I still unchanged? So the first step is to recognize that this problem is not, with the name, it is actually with me. So, anurag, what does that mean? People often confuse the term anurag. It has two uses in our tradition, in our Gaudiya scriptures. One is the advanced stage of the prem, which one gets it when one becomes gopi, where the love becomes thick and spontaneous beyond reason. That is anurag as a level of perfection, and it cannot be attained while one is still bound to the limitation of this material body. But in this verse, iha jani nanuragaha, it means something totally different. Here it refers to a deep, uh, deep affectionate attachment for the utterance of the holy name. Not a dry habit, not a mechanical chanting, but a pull from the heart. And Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Bhatt Thakur in Ujjwala Neelmani, he states, Anuragoyam raga nugiye bhajan utkhantyam natu anurag stainam sadak dehe nuraga utpattya asambhavat. Anurag in this context refers to a burning eagerness for Raganuga bhajan. It is not the final stage of prem name anurag, which is impossible to attain in a body made of material elements. So, what this means is that the lament is not about the failing to reach perfection, it is about failing to even taste the pull of affection towards the name. So why Harinam feels dry? The caution still stands, and we have to understand that if the name of is Krishna himself, why does it feel like nothing happening? Uh, why is there no sweetness? Because I do not chant with the proper heart. My lips move, but the tongue is tied to the world. My mind chants, but the names of wealth, pleasure, power, and reputation, not the name of Krishna. My mind is thinking about the wealth, about the money, about the pleasures, about the holidays, about even about the weekend also. I know when how auspicious is the time of the weekend. All the people who are in the jobs, they wait. When will that moment come? When I'll have a 2 days of holidays. So obviously, mind is thinking, right? A mind can think about the very holidays, and mind can think about holy name. But what does mind think naturally? It thinks about the holidays more. Mind can think about anything which is related with one of our senses, can spend countless hours looking for the clothes, looking for the shampoos, looking for the soaps, looking for whatever things which can give pleasure to our senses, but it takes tremendous efforts to even chant, just chant. So the blockages, come from the three roots. Three roots. This is my understanding. The very first thing is misconception, which is known as avidya. Thinking that the name is just a sound, that chanting is just a ritual, which can provide whatever things I want. The second one is material desires, attachment towards material things, hoping that by chanting I will get worldly comfort. And the third one is aparad, especially the offense of equating the name, the holy name, with the pious deeds. Uh, and aparad acts like a poison as long as it is not cleaned away. The name's full power. So many people approach the name like they approach any pious act. I will chant and my life will improve. I will chant, my problems will be solved. I will chant and my business will do well. I will chant, my family will be protected. Uh, this is the uh, one of the offenses, uh, the nama aparadha. Because in the list of the 10 nama aparadha, one is it is an dharma varta tyag hutadi sarva shubh kriya samyam api pramadaha. It is an offense to think of Harinam as equal to all other pious activities like charities, vows, and sacrifices. Uh, it is an offense to think that the holy name will give me this, name will give me that. Holy name uh, is not those pious activities which claims and give you whatever you want. Yes, definitely, it pulls you in. There are, how like in the Ekadashi Vrat it has been mentioned that while doing Ekadashi, you get rid of thousands of sins. You uh, get such and such result of Ashwamegha Yagya or this and that. It's just, like it is an advertisement by the very Puranas. Because all the Puranas usually do this kind of advertisement. There is a way of speaking, and in the very scripture it is a tradition that to attract other people who are not uh, into the chantings or into ekadashi or into anything. So what do they do? They write all the merits in there. uh, that if you will do this you will get that, if you will do this you will get that. In a very same way, holy name also have all those things. If you will recite this particular holy name you will get that. If you will, uh, in one of my kathas of the verse second I have spoken uh, the entire list or even half of that list, that if you chant this specific name you will attain that. Uh, but when guru is giving you any uh, you know giving you holy name to chant, he is not giving the holy name to you to fulfill your worldly needs. He is giving you the holy name so you can attain Krishna prema. But what is happening? While chanting, I'm thinking all the material stuff. And if anything goes wrong in my material life, I think about, oh God, uh, because of such and such holy name chanting, this has happened with me. But nowhere it is mentioned. Like recently, one of the devotee had approached me. He was like, Maharajji, one day I was doing the chanting. It's the very first time I started doing chanting, and after third day, I got into bad fever, viral fever. So I have stopped chanting because chanting gives me fever. Now I said chanting gives you lavaria, not malaria. Ah, chanting doesn't give you all this stupid nonsense. Now, how can you even define this that the chanting have given you the viral fever? Maybe you were thinking something different. Maybe you were infected by whosoever. Uh, Maybe something else had happened in your life uh, which had given you the outcome of that viral fever. But no, all you thought about that, whatever in the entire day you did, everything had given you, the good health, but just the very chanting of the holy name have given you the viral fever. Now imagine this. Now, can that person ever attain the attachment towards holy name? He cannot. He cannot. Because he is connecting all the worldly comfort with the holy name chanting. And that's why I have made this, or our acharyas have made this very, uh, you know, uh, instructions on the day of Diksha. When the Sankalpa is been given and everyone take a vow, the very first thing I say that I am giving you this very name to attain the Krishna Prema and Radha Dasyam. I'm not giving you this very holy name to get the car or the house or a comfort, or or to get rid of all your problems. I don't bloody care of all of those things. I only care for that whoever you are, whatever you are, please surrender your very self. You have surrendered yourself to the lotus feet of Shri Radharaman Lal. This holy name is given to you so you can attain these two very rare gems of the spiritual world, Krishna Prem and Sri Radha Dasyam. Nothing else. But still, in whichsoever way one is, we are 100% or sometimes 99%, even by understanding everything. Uh, we want, when we are chanting, we the material comfort of any kind, no matter in which position we are in this life, but we are still subconsciously, not even consciously, even subconsciously asking this very thing that I want, this and that. Even like I want to get rid of the troubles in my life. And I'm chanting and thinking about it. Oh God, why this is not working? I'm chanting for you, but why my problems are not going away? Now, Krishna is nowhere talking about that, once you start the chanting, all the problems will go away. But we are so much focused on that, so much focused on that. Like, uh, so this offense, the very offense where I am thinking that this very holy name will give me all those things which I can get it by performing the charities, vows, and the fire offerings, yagyas. And so the the whole that nama aparadha will never lead us towards anuraga. So what can lead us towards anuraga? The very thing is the foundation of all Vedic instructions is condensed in one shloka. And I have spoken this shloka just a few days ago as well in one of my classes. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Smratavya Satatam Vishnur Vismarat विस्मृतः व्यो न जातु चित सर्वे विधि निषेधा स्युरेत तयोरेव किंकरः. A very, very, very important thing. Very important thing. It says Vishnu, like we should always remember Vishnu or Krishna, or the translation of itself says that Vishnu should always be remembered and never be forgotten. All other rules and regulations are servants of these two essential principles. So that's the most important thing. Two essential principles. Always be, Vishnu should always be remembered favorably and never be forgotten in any way at all. So in there, in this comment, in of this verse, there is a commentary written, and in that commentary, a very beautiful thing, line is mentioned, and it says, "Satatam pratyeham natu pratichanam tasya sadhyatvena विधेर अनुष्ठान लक्षणा प्रामाण्य पत्ते." It says that there is a word come satata. Satata means all the time. Satata Smaran, that always remember Krishna. So it says that please understand, Satata Smarana means always remember Krishna, doesn't mean that you have to remember Krishna every single moment. It means that every day you have to remember him, because it is quite impossible for a person to remember Krishna every single second. Every single second. Then the next verse it says, Ityasau syad vidhir nitya sarva varna shramadishu nityatve payasya nirnit meka dasya dvit phalam. It says, although bhakti is the nitya karma, Shastra uh, speaks of a positive worldly result for executing it, just like Shastra speaks of positive worldly results for executing Ekadashi, etc. Although Ekadashi too is Nitya Karma. So the injunction of always remembering Krishna and performing acts of bhakti is Nitya Karma for all humans of all varnas and ashrams. Now it is a very beautiful thing Rupa Goswami have spoken in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He says that bhakti should be done as a nitya karma. Nitya karma, what does that mean? Nitya karma means a duty which has to be done every day, no matter what. No matter what. But it has to be done in with the two understandings, that Krishna has to be remembered every day, and you should not forget Krishna in any way possible. In any way possible. If you are forgetting Krishna, then you are forgetting so many things in the life. And what will happen if you forget Krishna? Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya Mame Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. This divine energy of mine, Maya, made up of the three gunas, is extremely difficult to overcome. But those who take exclusive shelter of me alone, they alone can cross beyond this Maya. So people forget about it. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that Krishna Nitya Das Jeev Taha Bhuli Gela Ei Doshe Maya Tar Galay Bandhil. The soul is an eternal servant of Krishna, but forgetting this very truth, the soul has fallen because of this fault. Maya has bound him around the neck. ताते कृष्ण भोजे कोरे गुरूर सेवन माया जाल छूटे पाए कृष्णेर चरण. Therefore, one should worship Krishna and serve his and her guru. By doing so, the net of Maya is broken and one attains the lotus feet of Krishna. शरणागतेर अकिंचनेर एकै लक्षण तार मध्ये प्रवेशे आत्मसमर्पण. For those who are surrendered and possesses nothing of their own, there is but one true characteristic among all qualities. They place everything into self-surrender. So without surrendering, Krishna Nama will never come to us. That anuraga can never be generated in our life. So two things has to be there. The very two things. And if we get how to understand that what, because we are asking for kripa, that kripa also comes with the two characteristics. It's not just I'm just chanting like a machine and I think that I will attain Krishna's mercy. I will never be able to attain Krishna's mercy. How so? in a Prem Bhakti Chandrika, in the Narottam Das Thakur's Prarthana, there is a very beautiful Prarthana. Shri Roop Manjari Pad Sei Mor Sampad Sei Mor Bhajan Pujan Sei Mor Pranadhan Sei Mor Abharan Sei Mor Jivaner Jivan Sei Mor Rasonidhi Sei Mor Bancha Siddhi Sei Mor Veder Dharam Sei Brot Sei Tap Sei Mor Mantra Jap Sei Mor Dharam Karam अनुकूल होइबे विधि से पदे हबे सिद्धि निर, निरखब ए दुर्गे नयन से रूप माधुरी राशि प्राण कुलवत शशि प्रफुल्लित होवे निशिदिने. Shri, Narottam Das Thakur is very beautifully is doing the prarthana and is talking about, what the Rupa Manjari's lotus feet are. But what we have to understand in there is asking for the very kripa. So a practitioner who is holding on the, onto the pride of the body and bodily status cannot take shelter in such one-pointed devotion, like how Narottam Das Thakur is, referring to. The only pride worth having is this, to be a maid servant of a Radharani, a Manjari of Radharani. If one thinks I am a Goswami, I am a scholar, I am a Brahmin, I am Bhajananandi, even I am Shudra, I am Vaishya, I am Kshatriya, I am Maratha, anything you come up with, that attitude will not work. When the feeling is I am a humble, eternal servant of Krishna, then longing will awaken in one's bhajan. Through such longing filled devotion, the Lord's grace or the kripa is received. Even Mother Yashoda, who is the very embodiment of Vatsalya Rasa, could not bind Krishna with a heart that lacked longing. Every time the rope fell short by 2 fingers. Our acharyas have explained, Shri Rup Goswami and other acharyas also have explained the very thing, in the Laghu Toshani Tika, in the commentary, that even if there is love in the heart of a devotee, let's just think about it. You have a love in your, in your heart. If that love lacks intense yearning, if it doesn't have yearning, an intense yearning, I want more, that kind of a greed. And that's what, like, Rupa Goswami even speaks in the in Padhyavali also. He talks about the very same thing in Bhakti Rasamra Sindhu also, that how can you buy Krishna? By greed. Nothing else but only greed. So Krishna lolupyam, that greed. So even if there is love in the heart, but if that love lacks intense yearning, the special grace of the Lord will not manifest. So how can we get the kripa? By the yearning. In this verse, what is happening of Shikshashtakam, Mahaprabhu is saying that I am chanting but I am not getting yearning. Why am I not getting yearning? Because I am not surrendered. That's the very first thing. I am not surrendered the way I am supposed to be surrendered. The very first thing I have to do is that I have to do the satata smarana, continuous remembrance. And I should never forget that I am his eternal servant. Krishna, Jivero Sarupo Hoy Krishna Nityadas. That I should not even forget any moment. Whatsoever affair I am doing in this world, I should not even forget these two very things. How can I change myself? I am made of by the Maya. I live in the Maya's world. I do not do anything apart from thinking about that what is the, uh, bod, what is my name, means what is my body's name, what is my body's jobs, what is my body's relationships in this society. Since morning till night, I am busy thinking about all of these affairs. When I am completely busy thinking about all of these affairs, how can you do the continuous remembrance of Krishna? How can you do it? Let's say if someone's name is Prakash. Let's say someone's name is Prakash. Now Prakash lives with his family. He has a wife, he has a daughter, he has a mother and father, in-laws family, his extended family, relatives and everyone. He has a business as well. Now since morning till night, there is a 24 hours, Ashtaprahara. In those Ashtaprahara or 24 hours, what is he thinking about? What is he really thinking? He's thinking about his family members' welfare. He's thinking about his own welfare, his own needs in this world, about his job, about his business, uh, what he has to talk with others, how to go day by day with all of these things. But is he anywhere thinking that I'm Krishna's eternal servant? No, he's not. Maybe he would when he will sit down to chant, but most of the time he also forgets that he is chanting as a servant of Krishna. How does he chant? Oh, I'm chanting, Krishna, I want this. Why are you not sorting out my life? I'm chanting for you. I'm chanting, but Krishna is not giving anything. Krishna, you should be giving this and that stuff to me. I want a particular type of a comfort in my life. I do not want this troubles in my life. He forgets. Uh, he 100% forgets. Again and again, again and again. So, I mean, if he is forgetting, is he really doing the bhajan? The continuous remembrance and forgetting Krishna. These are the two things which every devotee has to follow. That's the very first thing. Second thing is he has to do it every day. It is a nitya karma. No matter who you are, what your background is, it doesn't matter. Everyone has to do it, nitya karma. The third thing is one has to take the shelter of Krishna for, to get the kripa of him. And that shelter has to have two things in there. A certain degree of bhakti, that nishkama bhakti. And second thing is yearning for that kripa. That yearning will, so that yearning, do not even ask that kripa, which Mahaprabhu is saying in this very verse, that I'm not getting your, kripa, your kripa. Why is Mahaprabhu talking about this very kripa? Because he is speaking for us, in this verse. And he is talking about that because we are trapped in these two things. Either we take this very holy name, which can give the very rare two gems of Krishna Prema and Radha Dasyam, but we use these two gems for the, for the material gain, which is an offense. So what is happening? The very first thing is doing the Harinam for material gain. And the second one is doing it to that extent that where it becomes an offense. Then crying like a baby that I have not got, anuraga. How will you get anuraga? You are not doing this Harinam for anurag. You are doing it for the material gaze, consciously or subconsciously. One has to completely remove all these material gains from their bhajan and then surrender yourself completely. And once you are surrendered, to the Krishna, then chant, just chant. शरण कोरे कृष्ण आत्म समर्पण कृष्ण तारे कोरे तत्काले आत्मसम. When a devotee takes full shelter of Krishna and offers complete self-surrender, Krishna at once accepts that soul and regards him as his very own. This is the beauty. But how does that happen? Hari Bhakti Vilas se त्वासमिति वदन वाचा तथैव मनसा विदन तत् स्थानम आश्रित isthat tva modate sharanagataha. A surrendered devotee with his body takes shelter of the place of the Lord's pastime. Any place, any pastime place, one takes the shelter of that, of that pastime place of Krishna. That's the very first thing. If you are living in a very different countries or places, no problem at all. Wheresoever you are. When you are doing a bhajan, just think about it that I am sitting right now at the courtyard of Radharaman Temple. I am in Vrindavan right now and chanting. So what happens is, according to Hari Bhakti Vilas, Vacha tathaiva manasa vidan. By your mind, you are there. Taking the shelter of the Krishna's, pastime place. And then speaks out, "O Lord, I am yours." And holds the same awareness firmly within his mind. By doing so, he continually experiences inner joy, anuraga. So the most important thing to understand, what Mahaprabhu is speaking here, that I have not got the joy or the taste to chant. Why? Because I am not surrendered to you, to Krishna, the way I am supposed to be, or the way I am supposed to be for the chanting. I'm not saying I am yours. Not a single moment that we are saying I am yours. We can say this, I am yours, to all our family members. But we don't even say that every day to our Krishna. When we are chanting, we are not even thinking about that, look, I am right now sitting in Vrindavan and chanting in Vrindavan. Radharaman is in front of me and I am chanting his holy name for Radha and Krishna's happiness. That's the very trick. Where are you right now? Oh, I'm sitting in my house doing chanting. Na 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 na. One has to uh, one has to understand where your Radha and Krishna lives. They lives in Vrindavan. So you have to go there to Vrindavan. So chant in front of them. So where am I? I'm in Radharaman Temple courtyard. I have put my asan. I'm just sitting there. Radharamanji is in front of me. All right. When I'm saying Krishna, Hare, is going to Radharamanji, means Raman Lal, uh, to Lalju. When I'm saying Krishna is for Radharani. So is, you know, Hare is for Krishna, Krishna is for Radharani. Or if I'm saying Krishna, 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 for Radharani. Chanting again and again, more and more, more and more. I'm yours, I'm yours, I'm yours, I'm yours, I'm yours, I'm yours. Sharanagati. And not thinking anything related about material comfort or material gains. When any of such material issues appear in any of our disciples or devotees' life, and with that, when they consult with me, I always say that please, you do all the offerings which I have always spoken to you and instructed you. But if you are coming to me with a very specific issue, material issue, which is bothering your bhajan also right now, so what I can tell you that do extra one, three, five, whatever rounds I recommend on that time, but do these extra ones. And for that material issue, don't combine it with your own, like, if I say you have to chant so don't try to do this. Okay, I every day chant 11. So from 11, I will give 5 for the material thing and 6 for Thakurji. Nah, 11 will directly go to Krishna only. Add 5 more for your material issues. If you are troubled, if you are troubled to that extent that is affecting your bhajan, then you can go for that. But always remember that will never increase anuraga, because that very practice you are doing, it's called, you know, uh, a part of a karma kanda, that you are doing it for a very specific reason to get something in return. But when you are chanting every day, then it's very important to take the shelter. Verbally, mentally, very important to take the shelter. That I am Krishna's. And then chant. And that chanting will get fruitful in some time. Once it will get to that extent, that where your heart you know start to feel some kind of a attraction, then try to attain the greed, or ask for the greed, that please give me the greed. uh, Krishna lolupyam, I want more and more Krishna's greed. Because even if you have love, but you do not have greed, Krishna Kripa will never come to you. You will never attain Radha Dasyam. So greed has to be there no matter what. And once you have that greed, with whichsoever state of love, you will definitely start to receive the very mercy or a kripa of Krishna and the holy name. So just a few problems, just the very few problems. And because of these very few problems, we are unable to chant in a right way. I very much remember there was a one devotee from a different path. He was chanting last 25 years. He came to me and he was like full of pride, full of pride. He came to me and he was like, oh, I'm in such and such temple, I'm such and such authority. And then he took out his business card, he gave it to me, and he was just started telling for 10 minutes what he is. He runs 5 businesses, he does this thing, he does this charity, he does that. And but I everyday chant, I everyday chant. Now I was like, yeah, okay. He then sat down for a katha and he was like, I know all the kathas. Last 25 years I'm listening to the katha. You cannot even imagine. I was speaking from Vidagdha Madhav, I suppose, and something from Ujjwal and Nilmani, and the katha was on Vrindavan Mahimamrit. He did not ever hear anything from those kathas. In 25 years, he was listening to all the Gaudiya kathas. And now, after listening to the whole Gaudiya, Vrindavan Mahimamrit, he was like, in my 25 years of time, I have never even heard this katha before. How old are you? I was like, what does it have to do with the katha? Like, what does my age have to do with this katha? It's like, no, how old are you? I have given my life, but I have never heard this katha before. I said, what are you really taking from this katha? That's more important. He was like, no, I chant this number of rounds every day. I have Krishna's kripa. I practically have asked, do you have greed for Krishna? Now, I know how the greed looks like. But I was like, do you really have the greed for Krishna? Like, greed? No, I don't. But I follow my rules and regulations and chant. This is specific rounds of, Krishna Nam. Then I very practically have asked, if you don't have it, this is what Acharya speaks. This is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Bhatt Thakur says. He says that if you are following the rules and regulations, if you are not into, I'm Krishna's Das, but into I run 5 businesses, still I chant this specific rounds of japa, and I do this, I do that charity, this, that, da 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 da, all that stuff. Where you are not thinking about I'm yours, Krishna, I'm yours. I'm not thinking about this. Am I going to achieve anything at the end? And tell me, have you got the greed in yourself? Because the most important thing is that even you have whatsoever stage of bhakti, but do you have greed? He was like baffled in himself. He was like, what is greed? Uh, I said, greed doesn't even make you sleep. You constantly remember and you work for that greed. If someone is greedy for anything in his life, uh, he doesn't stop thinking about that. Even with whosoever he meets, he just thinks about that, how can I use this person for my greed? Some people have a greed for money. Like there are some of, like in everyone's life, there are a typical type of a friend who has never done anything in his life but always try to fetch money from the other friends. He has a greed, a great greed, and for that greed he comes up with all sorts of stories, false stories. He will make, he will come to you, he will tell you, oh look, there is such an urgency, please can you give me 10,000 rupees and I will return, that money to you in 2 days of time, and believe me, I promise you I'll give you that back. Those 2 days never come. Those 2 days never ever come in our life. But the money definitely goes. Once he does this with you, he goes to other person, then he goes to other person, then he goes to another friend. All his life, he is busy trying to get money. All relationships, he uses each and every relationship for his greed. Very greed. Are we doing any of that? How much Krishna Ras is in that devotee? I want to take it. I want to take it. If you really want to know, like my life in particular, this is how I always meet devotees or saints and Vaishnavas. How much this person have it? I want something. I want something in it. I want something. I want something. I want Krishna Prem. I want to know more. I want to hear the stories. I want to hear the Hari Katha. Because of that greed. If I don't have a greed, I wouldn't even ask. It's like, no, no, I'm done. Why do I need anything from this Vaishnava? Why shouldn't you? Every Vaishnava is greater than me. When every Vaishnava is greater than me, he maybe have a very beautiful story to tell. So the very first thing is, this is what I did in my entire life. If I met any of the sadhus, any of the Vaishnavas, I just want to hear the story you love the most. Now I'm sitting down listening to the story of Krishna or Radha Krishna, and I'm enjoying it. This is the nectar, very nectar. Now, what is that? I'm fetching Krishna Prem out. If someone is telling the most favorite story of his, of Krishna, then what happens? He's so jolly in himself. He's so happy in himself. Oh, someone is here. Well, wants to hear, a particular story uh, of Krishna, the one which I love the most. Let me speak that story. With that passion, he will speak that story. And what are you doing? Fetching the Krishna Prem. From that Vaishnav who would not even dare to speak anything to you, who maybe have a different philosophical understandings, will may even speak all the stupid stuff. But from that very person, very Vaishnava, you can get something out. You can get something out. And this is the beauty. So I had asked this, do you have greed? Because without any greed, there is no Krishna Prem. You chant for 25 years or you chant for 25 millions of years. But if you do not have the greed, the Kripa will never arrive. It will only arrive when we have the greed in us. And here Mahaprabhu is talking about that, oh Krishna, you have made the holy name super easy to chant. But I'm so conditioned in myself that I'm unable to even chant your names. Now, those conditions, as a recap of the entire class, is either I'm using those very names of Krishna for the material gains, or I'm doing the offenses. And because of these two reasons, I have no connection, no relationship with the very holy name. So may Krishna, or may all the Vaishnavas give us their kripa so we can get some kind of a anurag for chanting. May their blessings be upon us so we can attain some sort of attachment towards Krishna Nam. May Radharaman give us the right kind of a vivek to understand while chanting that this chanting is not for the material gain but to attain the Krishna Prem. May Radharaman bless us with the right sadhu sangha so we can always remember that we are the eternal servant of Krishna and never forget him. These are the very keys and the very blessings which can help us improve in our very chanting and can wake or awake the anurag in us. And by that anurag, we can attain the most unattainable Radharaman in this life only. Jai Radharaman, Jai Shri Bhattagopal. Any questions related to this very class? We find ourselves always doing aparad. Should we leave it to Harinam to help us remove the aparad, or is there something we have to do ourselves? We have to do ourselves. Uh, if once it happens, I mean, Harinam can help us out. But if again and again, if we are doing the aparad, committing the aparad, then we have to sort ourselves out. So we shouldn't, Harinam has his own, everyone has his own uh, capacity of its own uh, to forgive us. So if we are doing it again and again, we should be sorting ourselves out. Whatever the issues are, uh, we should be focused upon uh, on the apradhas more. I usually tell everyone that please print out 10 nama pradha of uh, you know of holy name and 32 nama pradha of seva apradha and nama pradha, and always try to read them every day, once in a day. So like those who drive, I have given this very example few times in the past as well. I I still remember, like in India, I used to drive, right? So I'm driving last what 27, 28 years. So I used to feel like I'm a very good driver. So I remember, like after getting married, I went to the UK. So I met with my father-in-law, and one day there was a moment when I had to drive in the UK. And as an expert driver in India, I used to think about that I am a very good driver. But I had never driven in the UK, and UK is a very country where so many rules are applied and which I did not know of. Uh, there is a very specific rule I still can tell you about, and Achyut Priya is here, and she can also second me on that. There is a one rule that in the in the red light there is the green light, yellow light, red light. Then there is a uh, arrow green light also. uh, but in the in India, how we have it like three lights, and then if you want to turn left or right, then there are on the sides left arrow light is there or right arrow light is there. But in the UK, the arrow light is just right there. It becomes four lights, like red, yellow, green, and then one arrow light. So I have parked my car. There was a red light. Still remember. And what had happened was that so it shows that sometimes it shows that, a green light with the arrow. So you have to basically go to wheresoever. Then after some time, it just in some I can't remember whether it shows like a green light only, just a green light, no arrows. Now in India we have a different system. Once the arrow light is gone, you cannot actually turn left and right. But in the UK is a system is a bit different than that. Once the green light is on, you can go anywhere you want to. But once when the right turn light is on, then you are only allowed to go to the right, nowhere else. Uh, and then there are, I'm sorry to say, but I can say bloody roundabouts. I have never seen the bloody roundabouts in the entire world the way I have seen it in the UK. I mean, and in there is a very specific thing. Like when there are roundabouts in India, you park your car in any lane, wheresoever you want to go, honk all the way, and then cross that roundabout and reach to where, to that very road where you want to, you know, go to. But in the UK, you have to park your car in a very specific lane if you already know that where you want to go the next, after crossing that roundabout. If you want to take the very first left, then you have to park it on the left, where the far left on the road. If you want to go straight, then park either in the middle or on the right hand side. Huh? If you want to go on the far, on the right hand side, means the third exit, then or the fourth exit, then you have to park on the far right. Now, I did not bloody know any of these rules. I drove. I was so confused. I did not know any roads. My father-in-law was, Chandanji, stop the car in this lane. Chandanji, stop the car in that lane. Chandanji, stop the car in that lane. And I was like, why there are so many rules? I'm unable to do, enjoy driving. All I'm looking for, where is the camera? Where is this lane? Where is that heading to? Because one wrong lane, you end up going somewhere else. So what I did, I was like, let me just sit down and figure it out how many rules are there uh, to follow in the UK. And in the UK, driving is very difficult, for Indians. Not for anyone else, but for Indians, definitely it is very tough. So I read all the rules. So I still remember my father-in-law had said, Chandanji, you have driven in the forest before, in the jungle before, means in India, everyone drives like a jungli. This is a gentleman country, so you have to drive it like a gentleman. So there I learned all the rules, and after I knew all the rules, every day I used to just like read, and just memorize it, what I have to do and what I shouldn't be doing. Then I was all good, driving in there. In a very same way, back to our original question, that how to stop all of these aparads happening in my life. Print them out, please. I have spoken many times to many of our devotees. Print them out and read them every day. You already know what are your do's, but you do not know what are your don'ts. So for your don'ts, you have to read them every day. So what will happen? It will store in your subconscious mind. So whenever anything will start to happen wrong, your subconscious mind will send a message to your conscious mind and will say, look, stop it right now because you are going to commit an aparadh. So this is the most important thing one has to follow. Jai Radharaman, Jai Gaur Gurudev, humble pranams. If you be a little more merciful today, please narrate your favorite anecdote from Shri Chaitanya Bhagwat or Charitamrita. I love the Kalidas story the most. Kalidas story the most. In the Anta Leela is a Kalidas story. So go there and read the Kalidas story. I loved the way he hid himself to get the remnant uh, of Mahaprabhu, and how Mahaprabhu was teasing him and how he was hiding himself to get the remnant. And I love the greed of him. He was just not leaving uh, Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu was so merciful to him that Mahaprabhu have never given his charanamrit to anyone, uh, but he always made sure that Kalidas could get his his charanamrit because of his greed towards the Vaishnava Prasad. So that's the most favorite one of the most favorite one, I would say, but it comes in the top three. Guru Maharaj, why sometimes I feel afraid, I feel fear of the next stage, I sometimes feel fear from Krishna Prem. Not just you, actually everyone feels very afraid. If their body trembles, if sometimes a bhava, a shadow of that bhava comes and someone starts, why I'm crying, Maharaj? Why am I crying? Uh, when I'm chanting, I'm crying. Baba, you already have uh, taken the road of love, and the eight ecstatic symptoms will come one day. First, the shadow of those ecstatic symptoms, one or two, might come. So many of the people fear, on this very first thing. Second thing they fear about losing this very identity, that I am such and such person, the body identity or material identity, because we have this understanding that I will move forward when I have a stability, at the present. But here uh, in the spirituality, we do not know what is waiting for you the next. So you do not see the stability in a physical form. So there is a fear that what will I get the next? And because of that, there is always a fear that, whatever is the issue, I howsoever I'm doing my bhajan, let that bhajan be uh, in the process. I'm not stepping ahead. So it's a very natural thing, very natural thing. But one has to understand that we have to bring the greed in ourselves so we can move more forward to get the kripa, the mercy of Krishna. Dandvat Pranam Gurudev, can we obtain the greed for attaining Krishna Prem and Radha Dasam with only Guru Kripa? And should we ask the Vaishnav we feel are so much in anurag with Krishna Nama to help us attaining love and madness for Krishna Prem with their blessings? Bhaiya, your question is bit confusing of its own. Uh, the very first question I do understand. Uh, well, one can get uh, the greed for attaining Krishna Prem and Radha Dasam with only Guru Kripa. Yes, one can get that. But Guru Kripa, you can get it by following the order from the Guru also. And Guru always asks to chant. So, no matter how you grab the nose, you are supposed to grab the nose. So, one has to, Guru Kripa only comes when one follows the Guru Agya, and Guru Agya is to chant. And Guru Kripa, obviously, one can attain it. Uh, Definitely, one can attain it. But that Guru Kripa will come with the Guru Sevan. Tate Krishna bhaje kore Guru Sevan, Maya jal chhute paye Krishner charan. So, Krishna, the one who is chanting Krishna and doing the Guru Seva, then only he can remove the very wave of this material world, and focus on to and attain Krishna Prem. Uh, and should we ask the Vaishnav we feel are so much in anurag with Krishna Nam to help us attaining? Na 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 na. That gets too confusing. You just ask their blessing and ask a very beautiful story. If they perform kirtan, then ask them to perform kirtan. Uh, don't get too much into any of those things. So many times I pray to Mahaprabhu and Krishna to help me to remove my aparadhas. How will Mahaprabhu show his mercy on me in this aspect? I have already told you, you have to be very conscious on reading the aparadhas and then following, then chanting or doing the Sankirtan. Doing the Sankirtan, uh, sitting down and chanting for the aparadh, and with the understanding that you will never repeat them. If you will repeat them, the mercy will never happen. Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Does all form of Harinam is having same potency to give us prema? Please guide. Yes, 100%. In my previous class, I have already spoken about it. Uh, he, it's very much uh, all the potencies are there, and I have spoken that out of all the names, the most favorite name of Krishna is Krishna. The most favorite name which Radharani loves to hear the most is Krishna. But definitely any name, and any name from any Vraja Leela, Vrindavan Leela, one can chant of also and can attain whatever results one wants to attain. It's mentioned in the scriptures, it's mentioned in Brihad Bhagavatamrit and all. So each and every name have the all the potencies uh, without any partiality. Achyut Priya, Maharaji Dhaval has had the same experience. He's agreeing with everything you are sharing. I can imagine every Indian is a jungly driver, uh, and we 100% understand driving in the UK, and I still remember ah, there in a 200 meters. So where were we? Where were we? Derby. So we were in Derby, and there were, I remember, there were in a 300 meters, there was at least five uh, cameras with the red light. Now imagine like I'm just driving for a bloody 20 meters and braking and stopping my car. Why? Because there is another red light. After 20, 30 meters, again I'm stopping my car. Why? Because there is another red light. And there's a camera also on top. You can't even like, and once I was so confused. Why? Because in India, usually, on a same road, you have couple of cameras which are telling you about that road only of that time. But in this place of a very short span of time, of that road, there was different cameras. One was showing a different light, another one was showing another light, and I was confused. I got confused, and I was about to cross, and I remember like I was about to actually hit any one person, and someone was sitting next to me had said, oh, look, you are not stopping on a red light. And I was like, I mean, like I just stopped 20 seconds ago, and how come all of a sudden there is another red light? And then I understood that in the UK there are bloody so many red lights, so many rules. So now the most conscious driving in the entire world, I feel, according to me, is from the UK. Literally, I have driven in the USA, blah blah blah, every other country. Now all are easy, and in the South America it's much more like India. You just like throw your anger, speak all the bullshit, and then it's all good. They leave, you leave, without even saying anything. Europe, super easy. But UK, really like gave me an idea of like how to be so conscious. Like after driving for 2 hours, my brain used to be fused. I was like, I have used my brain so much with all my consciousness. My consciousness is so awakened in there. Uh, so when my wife was asking me to come this year to the UK, and I was like, on a one side, I was even thinking about it. Do I need to be conscious or do I not to be conscious? I was like, nah, I'm very happy not to be conscious and stay here in Vrindavan only. Uh, uh, okay, next and last question. Guru Maharaj, Mansik Jap is recommended or not in Gaudiya Sampradaya? Please guide. Yes, it is very much recommended, but not for right now. It is recommended uh, once you attain the Ruchi and reach to that Asakti stage of Nam. Once you reach to that stage only, once the Nam is in you, then you can do Mansik Jap. Or when you are in an impure state, then also in sometimes uh, the jap is important to do, then go for it. Otherwise, it's not required to get into it. So, all the questions are finished. May all of you enjoy your weekend with Nam, with anurag, with asakti, with sharanagati, with attachment. May all of you have a very good next week, and I'll see you next week on either on Wednesday or on Saturday. Good night to you all. Jai Radharaman, Jai Shri Bhattu Gopal.